Hello and welcome to today's video where we're going to be showing a smack hole team with a Frostlass lead. Okay, so we have a Shadow Tyranitar, which is a rank 1 Crustle, which this is the first Crustle I built, has Met IVs and it's a decent Frostlass. So Frostlass meets Driftbloom. This is a good matchup for Frostlass. Powder Snow is doing just that extra little bit more damage than Hex, and you're able to outpace the big moves here at the same time. So I go Avalanche to start to get the Avalanche off before the Driftbloom throws a move, pulls the shield. So at this point I know Driftbloom can have Shadow Ball, so I put up the shield, baited with the Icy Wind, but that's okay. Frostlass will still outpace the Driftbloom here, and they swap in a Crustle, which is a good catch. Thinking, oh, this is great, we'll catch a -1 Avalanche on my Crustle, and it still does roughly half damage, so I can get my own Crustle in, and I'm in a position where I can smack down the opposing Crustle before it gets to a move. So Driftbloom comes back in, and I go for the X Scissor, knowing that one Hex they have another Icy Wind loaded. So pulls their shield, which is fantastic. Don't need Crustle anymore now. And managed to survive the Icy Wind and get a couple more smackdowns in. And at this point they need one more Hex for a move, and I can get 2 Powder Snows off in time, and that feints down the Driftbloom, and then in comes a Beedrill and they just rage quit. It's a good start for this team. Unfortunately Shadow T-Tar didn't even get any play here, but don't worry, there'll be plenty of that to come. So moving into the second match in this set. Again, it's just a 1 set today, and hopefully it's going to showcase as much Shadow T-Tar as possible from here on out. So Frostlass lead into a Skuntank, not very good, not bad, resisting the poison jabs, and it's a bite Shadow Skuntank, so definitely not resisting these bites. Get the Avalanche off, it's going to pull a shield. And swap in Crustle, expecting them at this point now to swap out, which they do, into their Nidoqueen. And Crustle into Nidoqueen isn't all that bad a matchup. Poison Fangs are resisted due to the bug typing. Same with Poison Jabs. So, and you'd be surprised Rock Slide does a decent amount of damage. Obviously it's nothing special, but it ain't bad. So at this point it's just another Poison Fang, so I decide to let it go, keep my 2 shields for T-Tar in the back, knowing full well that there's very little that's going to challenge T-Tar with T-Tar up a shield in the back. I don't know what they were trying to get to, maybe they got fainted down just beforehand, but I get the Avalanche off right before Frostlass goes down. Pulls a second shield, so I just swap out rather than giving the extra farm here. So shield up to T-Tar, he's squishy as hell. Even this crunch would have tickled, you know, with a defense drop. That's interesting, you know, you get a defense drop, so I just go straight for the crunch, right on their fort. Fire spin. So they would have been at the Bone Club in another turn or 2, land the crunch, and then they come back in with the Skuntank, and it just doesn't have any play. So T-Tar is just OP. So T-Tar OP. Moving into the next battle here now, and again just a small bit of time to find the opponent. When isn't there a small bit of time to find your opponent in GBL? You know, you think with 2200s, queue time should be fine. not too bad this time. So again, this is a big up pair for me, up 70 points. So the question here, the first question is this a Charm Tails or is this Powder Snow? And it's Charm. Very good. So I'm going to throw an Avalanche and try and deny, which I actually get. Very good. We get the denial. They shield the Avalanche, just perfect. At this point I don't get to 2 moves, so I can shield this Weather Ball to throw the Shadow Ball, and then it'll be a case of coming in Crustle, I think. And they'd throw a Psyshock for some reason, and then swap in either Sableye or Spiritomb, so I'm going to say Sableye. And no shield the Shadow Ball, fantastic. And then in comes Crustle. I mean, maybe T-Tar would have been a better swap here, seeing as there is a Charm Tails in the back, but keep the shield for T-Tar. There's no need to shield this Foul Play. It's gonna tickle, but it ain't gonna kill. So then they come in Cofagrigus, and at this point I know I can just throw this X-Scissor. They may or may not shield it, but Cofagrigus can't really touch T-Tar. And I will get to the Rock Slide before I faint if they don't throw a move. And I shield that up. So now this Cofagrigus is loaded with energy. So I'm deciding, do I go straight in T-Tar or do I try and catch? So I go in T-Tar, and you can see I'm spamming that swap button to catch something, and I'm just off on it. But no need to shield here just yet. Psychic, no defense drop. I can just farm this down. No need to shield here either, but I do. I suppose just enough to make sure I survive if the Ninetales comes in, which it does. The Charm goes through, but that doesn't matter at this point. And I can just land the big Stone Edge and kill the Ninetales. And then nice and easy. 2 more Smackdowns and T-Tar's just too strong. So at this point now we're currently 3-0, and T-Tar's cleaned up 2 games all by himself. And we get Frostlass into a Jelly, which isn't great. So I'd throw first Powder Snow and then swap into Crustle, and they bring in an Air Slash Mandy. So at this point I'm looking at this from T-Tar's point of view. Jelly and Mandy. T-Tar could be eating good here. So throw the X-Scissor. Still does decent damage to Mandibuzz. I throw the second X-Scissor, hoping it's on CMP. And it is indeed. So at this point there is no need to shield this Crustle. They go Foul Play. Fantastic. And then 2 more Air Slashes doesn't kill, 2 Smackdowns does. Very good. Back in comes Jelly. So at this point now I can't get to the Rock Slide, so I have to throw the X-Scissor. But it aligns my T-Tar to the Jelly at this point. In case my Frostlass safe. So at this point, no need to shield the first move. It's more than likely a Bubble Beam if they're running it. Again, I've never seen Bubble Beam do that much damage. So worth shielding the second one here, and all they're doing at this point really is giving T-Tar more farm, because T-Tar will just swap out here in a minute. You know, I've no need to shield this Bubble Beam either. At this point the energy is more important than T-Tar's health. As you can see, and in comes a Nidoqueen, who is Like, this is the best part. They throw on 5. Why should I shield this? You know, bring a Nidoqueen in and Frostlass down the shield. Let's just see how good Frostlass truly is. And I throw on the move. This should be CMP tie with their second Poison Fang, if I remember correctly. Nope. Maybe. My counting is all over the place. I get my second Avalanche off, and I should get my third one before they get to their next next move here. So I shield here. I think getting that one Powder Snow through was enough. Because this should be another Poison Fang, which probably doesn't kill, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it does not kill, so I can swap out at the same time they swap out. And Stone Edge would have done it too, but let's be real. Who doesn't want to win by crunching down the Nidoqueen? T-Tar is just so strong in Halloween Cup. And I was very fortunate to get a rank 1 Shadow T-Tar. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to have it built for the last Halloween Cup. I would have ran it all over the place, and it dominated last year. This year, not so much, but it's still pretty damn good. You know, there's a lot of Scrafty around this year. Scrafty's a big issue with this team, but you know, you win some, you lose some. You know, and at this point, here's a Mandy, it's a Snarl Mandy, so I can go Crustle safely, knowing I have T-Tar in the back just in case. They come in Jelly, and at this point, my opponent just kind of lags out of the game. As you can see here, based on this, so I just flick onto my data, and as you can see, Jelly kinda comes back, goes away again, and then back in comes the Mandy, and in the back they have a Drapion, so T-Tar sweeps all 3 at the back. So the lag doesn't really have an effect on this game. So as you can see, T-Tar is certainly very, very strong in Halloween Cup. And if you're fortunate enough to have a Shadow Tyranitar for Great League, don't be afraid to use it. We'll see you all in the next video.